What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Love Ashe, back at you with another video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, baby, go ahead and do that. Give this video a thumbs up and leave your girl a comment down below. Let's go ahead and get into it, collective family. Make sure y'all let me know if this resonates for you. Leave us a comment down below, baby. We want to hear about it, okay? Thank y'all for being a part of the Love Ashe collective, all right? So, as I was getting ready to record this message, I had a personal story come up that I want to share with you, and then we'll get into whatever is the vibes, the tea, the overall energy, what's going on in these spiritual streets, okay? So, Spirit brought me to the day I told my ex-husband I was leaving him. Y'all, we were having back and forth. We were not seeing eye to eye. I knew that this relationship had run its course. I had been with this man since I was 16 years old. Since I was 16 years old. At this point, I am approaching 30. 30's like around the corner, okay? And I was going through my Saturn return, y'all. And a lot of things were happening at that time, but I knew that it was time to let this go. Now, the day I actually sat him down and told him that I think we should go our separate ways. Do you know the first thing that he did, y'all? He didn't ask me what can he do better. He didn't ask me, can we talk about this? Can we go to counseling? Can we work on it? Is there somebody else? You know, all the things you would think that someone asks when you are ending a relationship, right? You got questions, right? The first thing that he did, he grabbed all of my cards. About 50 decks, y'all. I had about 50 of them decks, okay? I had oracle decks, tarot decks, shadow work decks. You name it, baby, okay? I had all of these different decks. And at that time, I was just starting to read for the public. Y'all, I wasn't even seasoned yet, okay? But I knew I was called. I knew that I had a gift. And when he took those cards, he didn't just take them, y'all. He took them in a box and he put them inside his truck. It felt like he was stripping me of something. Like, how am I supposed to do this work without my tools? Like, why the fuck you being petty? But now, looking back with spiritual eyes, I see it. This wasn't just about a man acting out of ego, upset because his family was breaking apart, upset because his wife didn't want to be with him. That was Spirit showing me my calling through the chaos, okay? That moment when he took my cards from me, I mean, y'all, he packed up all the decks. Out of all the things, you didn't try to take the car. You didn't try to take the key to the house. You didn't try to take a ring. You didn't try to take the expensive a purse. You didn't try to take the collection of perfume. You didn't try to take clothes. He took my cards. Mind you, he didn't even buy the cards, okay? And so the message that I was hearing for us today, when Spirit brought this into my remembrance, was confirmation disguised as opposition, y'all. And it made me think about us collectively. And I mean, how many of you know that sometimes the proof of your calling, it shows up in the form of conflict? Sometimes your enemies are the ones that God utilizes to show you your strengths, to show you your life's purpose, to show you what you're put here to do. Sometimes the evidence that you've been chosen by God, it is not going to be people celebrating you, people clapping for you, people rooting for you. It's going to come looking like an attack. So this message is going to be for anybody who has ever been attacked, or you currently feel attacked for stepping into who you are. It's confirmation. The chaos is confirmation. And I was so stuck in that moment, y'all. I was so stuck. Like, why you gonna take my car? It's like, that's some petty ass shit. Like, I really was like, that's so petty. Like, you're really petty for that. It just didn't make sense to me at the moment because, like I said, I knew I had a gift, but I was still starting out doing my spiritual stuff. You know what I'm saying? Still not really fully knowing, my potential. But all things soon come to our understanding. Okay? So I want to do a reading for us right now about the chaos in your life currently, and why that chaos is the breadcrumbs that you need to realize your calling, your purpose in this life. Okay? So I'm just go ahead and I'm going to get the cards here and I'm going to start channeling. Yeah. First card out, Justice in reverse. What do we have? What was that? Yep. 4 of Wands. Yep. 5 of Swords. Okay. 4 of Cups. Yep. Star card in reverse. Okay. 9 of Swords. Wow. Okay. And see, the first thing that just came to me right now, you guys, was the scripture, y'all. The ancient text, okay, for those of you who want to be politically correct, okay, the Bible is an ancient text, okay. The one that talks about we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and spiritual wickedness in high places, right? I don't know what's the scripture, but y'all know what I'm talking about. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and spiritual wickedness in high places. So principalities, right? So principalities are ancient systems. They're old cycles. It's your bloodline. It's the things that are written down in the background, trying to script your destiny before you even get a chance to live it, right? The powers, right? Powers, these are the energy manipulators. They don't just, they aren't just things that your mama struggled with, These are things that if your mama struggled with it, your grandma struggled with it, and, her kids struggle with it, and they just expect you to struggle with it too. And we're talking about spiritual wickedness in high places. These are the people in power, okay? These hierarchies that thrive off of our collective fear, division, distraction. And it's very subtle, okay, in the matrix. It's very subtle. Things that happen to us in this sense show up as obstacles, as pressure, as this invisible ceiling almost. But it's definitely there. We feel it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because in that moment, y'all, I wasn't fighting against him. okay? You're not fighting against him. You're not fighting against her. You're not fighting against them. You're fighting something bigger, something older, something unseen. You're wrestling with something that's behind the smoke. And here's where we keep messing up. We keep swinging at the smoke. We think the fight is in the argument. We think the fight is in the job loss. We think the fight is in redeeming ourselves. We think the fight is in the gossip. We think the fight is in the betrayal. But Spirit is saying, you're not wrestling with smoke. You're wrestling with seed. Yes. Yes, Spirit. Yes, you're wrestling with seed. So you're wasting your energy. Yes. Chosen ones. Light workers. Okay. You're wrestling with the seed. They want to steal your joy, your happiness, your positivity, your vitality, they want to steal your success. Because the smoke can blind you, yes. But the seed, the generational curse, okay? Whatever this is that you're fighting that's bigger behind the scenes, these contracts, these soul contracts, these contracts that your ancestors signed up for knowingly and unknowingly. That's what you really need to be focused on. Spirit says, wait before you react. Let me show you who you're really fighting. Because the smoke is the distraction. Stop fighting the smoke. I just keep hearing that. Stop fighting the smoke. And just get to the root of it. Get to the seed. Uproot whatever that is in your generation. Okay? Because you think you're fighting with a coworker. You think you're fighting with your baby daddy. You think you're fighting with your friend. And they're just being used as a tool. You're not even fighting a real person. Smoke is the fight with your boss. But seed is the spirit of poverty trying to keep you stuck. Smoke is you getting into it with your baby daddy. But the seed is a generational wound that is tied to somebody trying to silence your voice, make you feel small. The seed is your assignment, you guys. The seed is your assignment. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Movement coming out in the reverse. This doesn't want you to move forward. They don't want you to move forward. Now, for somebody here, or rather, this is a collective reading. You took the resistance in your life, the obstacles in your life, the confusion in your life, the chaos in your life, the conflict in your life. You took that as evidence of failure. You took this as a sign of you being a failure. But resistance, obstacles, are actually evidence of the assignment. Oh, God. The resistance is actually evidence of the assignment, y'all. This shit showed up because you showed up. The attacks, they came the moment you decided to risk it all on your freedom. Things got heavy in your life because you're growing in spiritual strength. They see you growing in the spiritual realm, so they come in the physical realm to attack you behind the smoke, though. They ain't even bold enough to come from behind the smoke. Literally a force to be reckoned with. But the thing is, you got to look at it like this. So you've been looking at it all wrong, okay? You've been looking at it like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Me. No one's ever there for me. But you need to be looking at it like, shit, I'm dangerous. This is proof that you're dangerous. If you weren't carrying these light codes, if you weren't carrying the blueprint, if you weren't chosen, baby, they would have left you alone. They wouldn't be bothered with you. You're being attacked right now, or it feels like an attack, because they're trying to stop you because you are the cycle breaker. You are proof that whatever it is that ran in your family, it's about to run out with you. You're dangerous. So stop asking, why me? Why me? Of course me. Of course it's me. Because I ain't finna let y'all distract me with no little nitty natty patty. Of course it's me. Because I'm carrying the light that will set my bloodline free. Of course it's me. Who else gonna do it? I mean, look around at your family. Look around in your environment. Who else is gonna do it but you? Of course it's you. Because you're strong enough. Because you pray enough. Of course it's you. You are literally a glitch in the matrix. You are the one that God chose to interrupt the broadcast. Y'all know those things that be on there. We now interrupt your regular programming. That's you. The little things that come on the TV, like, we now interrupt your regular programming. That's you. That's your assignment. This fight that you are in right now is not about flesh and blood. You wasting your time. You wasting your spiritual bullets. It's not about the people. And once you stop swinging at the smoke and you start trying to uproot the seed, everything is going to start shifting for you. This resistance in your life is proof of your assignment. Them gossiping about you is proof of your assignment. The drama at your job is proof of your assignment. Hating bitch there, hating bitch over there, proof of your assignment. You're dangerous. Baby, you're dangerous. Whew. Well, let's pull some cards. Okay, so let's see. So you're dangerous, and this chaos is proof of your assignment. Let's see what they want to stop you from activating in your DNA. Okay? Let's see what they want to stop you from activating. I mean, they on an assignment to take you out. Okay? But why? What are you close to cracking the code on? What are you close to cracking the code on? Oh, Lord. Okay. The gift of clarity. You are free from the shadows of mental illness that has affected us. This is your ancestors coming through. Okay? And then we have emotional liberation. You and your offsprings are free from inherited emotional burdens, trauma, free to experience emotional well-being. So for some of y'all, this is the gift of clarity. I feel like, Spirit wants me to pull one more. I just heard 3. So let me get the last one here. Because these messages are on top of each other. So they've already given you the gift of clarity. Okay? The gift of clarity. Now you're able to see the shadows. You're able to see the bullshit. You're able to see the ops. You're able to see the spiritual interference. Okay? That's one side of it. And because you're able to see things for what they really are, 9 of Swords here, it doesn't affect your mental health like it used to. You used to get anxiety. You used to get depressed. You used to be worried. You used to have nightmares. You used to feel hopeless. But now because you can see things for what it is, now that has granted you emotional liberation. Because now you don't take on shit that you're not supposed to take on. Now you focus on your emotional health and your emotional well-being. And I feel like from that, what do we have? Okay. Release from karmic bonds. You are free from karmic relationships. You are free from karmic relationships. Exactly. And it's like because you're able to detach yourself from certain people's actions towards you and you're able to see it for what it really is and not how it may have temporarily made you feel. You free yourself from carrying this emotional weight of replaying certain conversations, of thinking that maybe you might have said something wrong, or overthinking about how this person got you fucked up, about how you're not talking to this person anymore because they this and that, and they this and that. You were overwhelmed with trying to mentally process how other people's actions were towards you. But you're free. You're working towards freedom from these karmic bonds, okay? From these karmic relationships, from these lesson-based relationships. And that's what they don't want you to do, okay? That's why that came out, y'all. That's why that came out. That's so crazy. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Once you are able to free yourself from these karmic bonds through emotional liberation, through this gift of clarity, they won't have a hold on you. They won't be able to touch you anymore. Because again, for a lot of y'all, these spiritual attacks are coming from what? They're coming from what? Flesh and blood. But we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, okay? We see things for what they are. We seeing it as a principality. We seeing it as a power, okay? We seeing it as spiritual wickedness in high places, okay? We see it as energy manipulators. Because remember, the matrix doesn't need chains to hold you. They just need patterns. They just need certain relationships in your life for them to do the dirty work. They just need your mama to get jealous of you one time. They just need your coworker to tell on you. They just need the lady to mean mug you at the store. They just need for your baby daddy to take you to court. They just need for your friend to gossip all your secrets. card want to come out? What is this? Truth and transparency. You access the gift of truth, hidden secrets, and a lack of honesty has plagued our lineage. So for somebody that may be true, okay, there's a lot of lies, a lot of secrets in your family. People like to sweep shit under the rug, okay? But you're not the one. Again, truth and transparency here. The gift of clarity. You're not sweeping shit under the rug. Betty's a bitch and I know it to be true. She's a messy bitch. Okay. And see, they're hiding behind the smoke again. And that's why Spirit is talking about focusing on the seed. They're hiding behind the smoke, the chaos. And that's why Spirit is saying here, you are free from the shadows. Baby, a lot of these folks in your life that are being used to attack you are struggling with mental illness, are struggling with substance abuse, are struggling with emotional pain, are struggling with ego, with pride. And that's why they're so easy to utilize for the devil's bidding, okay? They're a great candidate. They're a great candidate. Spirit, what happens once they free themselves? When they reach this part where they free themselves from these karmic bonds? Okay, what is this card? Okay. Okay. Because I feel like that this is just step one to your liberation. Spirit, show us what happens once they free themselves. Okay. Okay. What happens? Your spiritual gifts are activated. That's for one. And I feel like it's not coming out because it's going to be different for different people. We might have to do a pick a card on this, y'all. Bottom of the deck energy, yeah. Financial abundance. There are pathways to prosperity and abundance opening to you and your offsprings. Now, that's what they're really scared of. Because now you don't have this dead weight, this baggage, you know what I'm saying, holding you back. Yep, what I say, spiritual gift. Clairvoyance. It says seeing the past, present, and future as above, so below. Akashic records. Okay. Let's us, because that's really the read, y'all. That's really the read, you feel me? Okay. Let us see real quick. All right. Let's pull a card from this message from universe. And then I'm going to get my, you know what? Let's get my ancestral deck real quick. Uh-oh, let me put this over here. Okay. Okay. Yes, I am gifted as well. Period. Okay. Let me get this root of the problem since we're talking about healing ancestral wounds. Let's see what ancestral wound. Okay. All right. Let's see this real quick. So this is going to tell us the root of the problem, okay? The root, the seed. to kind of help you on your journey. Spirit, what is the root of the problem? Okay, what is the seed, Spirit? What is the seed? What is the seed? Okay. All right. All right. Put that card in there. All right, so bottom of the deck energy, we have narcissist. So some of you guys may be dealing with a lot of narcissists. Again, narcissism, okay, is a mental health issue. Okay. And, you know, it's rooted in ego and pride. Like I was saying, there's a lot of people in your family who are struggling with financial ruin. Okay. Bam. With financial ruin because of ego and pride. Because of selfishness. Okay. Let's see. So again, this is going to help us to see the root of the problem for you guys. So take the message that resonates for you in your situation. You know your family, girl. Okay. So miscommunication, a lot of discord, a lot of mistrust. People don't trust each other in the family. Everybody's alienated from one another. There's gossip. He said, she said this. Just a lot of miscommunication. And that miscommunication leads other people in the family to just isolate themselves or isolating a part of the family, or we're not going over there to that because she said this or that. So lots of miscommunication because everybody's trying to talk from a place of ego and pride and not from compassion, love, and understanding. And then we have trauma from sexism. So this is about being, you know, defined by a certain gender, okay? Specifically women, misogyny, okay? Double standards, power imbalances, inequality. So there was this desire of being treated equally, the women in your family to be treated equally. So a lot of the narcissism, okay, it came from consistent disappointment from the masculine in your lineage, okay? Disappointment, disregard, neglect. And so all of these women are struggling with the same wound. And you put them all in a room together, and they're all speaking from a place of woundedness. And then we have the mother wound coming out here, which is about carrying this burden of the maternal wounds from the absence of nurturing and understanding. So this is about unresolved emotion, emotional neglect, or somebody who has mommy issues. So some of these women had mothers who didn't give them the love that they needed in order to be emotionally present for their daughter, for their son. And they just kept passing this down as normal. Where no one ever truly felt heard or understood or valued outside of their societal expectations. This looks like, this is what women do. Why are you doing that? This is what you should be doing. Who told you to get standards? You can't have standards. This also looks like the masculine maybe even having a faulty relationship with their mother. And that's why they treated women the way they treated women. They saw their mother go through things. But these are themes that are showing up in your life, again, as the smoke. I mean, as the smoke is showing up, but it's trying to cover up the fact that there's a mother wound. It's trying to cover up the fact that there are some gender roles, some double standards, some power imbalances, okay? It's trying to hide the fact that really you healed the communication. And let's see, I want to see how this manifested. Which one? I want to see how this manifested for the children from this lack of love and nurture. I don't know, for somebody, I just heard sometimes the moms didn't know how to do anything else but just be a mom. Like, you shouldn't have any other job but be a mom. Or there was this sense where sometimes the moms didn't even want to be a mom. Like, they were neglecting the kids, you know? Leaving the kids off on somebody, you know? Okay. Let's see how this manifested. This mother wound. Let's start with the mother wound. How did this mother wound manifest? Okay, it manifested as anxiety, solar plexus chakra. I am always worried. So you may have felt always worried, okay? This apprehension. You never felt safe and secure. Never, this anxiety, like you don't want to piss her off. You don't want to get her worked up. You want to earn her love. You want to earn her approval. So you were always anxious. You may have even suffered from anxiety from a young age, and that you were told that's not real. You don't have anxiety. You have this. What else? Ooh. Isolation coming out again. Heart chakra. No one understands me. So what happens when somebody tells you that you have anxiety and you gaslight them and you tell them they're crazy, that shit's not real? Then you isolate yourself. And you say, nobody understands me anyways. Do you see the pattern? Then you isolate yourself. Because nobody understands me. And then we have guilt. Everything is my fault. Blame, shame, responsibility. And this card is coming out to clarify communication. So what that means is when there is a conversation that's had, finally, after a month, 2 months, a year, 2 years, it's coming from a place of guilt, of someone trying to guilt you into believing that all of this happened because of you. Putting the blame, the shame, the regret, the responsibility onto you. This all happened because of you. So you're never met with understanding, but you're always met back with more responsibility. Okay. Okay, TikTok, whatever. And because they guilt trip you and they make you feel like shit, these things are cycles. Because then look here, we have shame. Now you're feeling shame. I'm not good enough. I'm a disgrace. I'm humiliated. I'm embarrassed. Right? So then the cycle just repeats itself. The cycle just continues to repeat itself. And somewhere along the way, somebody gave up and said, this is how things are. This is how mama is. This is how daddy is. This is how grandma is. This is the way things is. And now here you come, saying it doesn't have to be this way. We could talk about it. Like disrupting the whole program. Talk about what? I'm seeing sibling rivalry for some of you guys. Because this goes so deep where the siblings were even pinned against each other through comparison, and that built up resentment, where there was always this competition. Maybe you were compared to somebody, compared to a sibling, there built up this jealousy. Maybe you had a sibling that was jealous of you. But I just feel like there was always a fight for affection and love from the mother or from feminine energy, because there wasn't enough love to go around. There wasn't enough love to go around. You get love if you act right. Look at that. Long-standing curse. This is a long-standing curse. That's why you're facing the opposition that you're facing right now. I'm telling you right now, baby, you finna break these generational curses, okay? You feel me? You feel me? I'm trying to tell you what I know, okay? Let's go ahead and pull a message from the universe. Let's go ahead and pull a message from this deck here. And then I want to take a look at what you can't see. Yeah, you're right, Ellen. She didn't even love herself. How could she? And that's what we talked about in our previous reading, y'all, about having compassion. I know it's hard to have compassion for these people, but the compassion and the acceptance is more so for you. It's more so for you. The forgiveness is for you. When they say the forgiveness is for you, it truly is. It's for your peace of fucking mind. The acceptance is for you. Let's pull a card. All right. It says if you're worried you don't have the strength to move on, think of how much strength you are using to hold on. Then redirect that energy and enjoy your life. We'll pull one more. Your life is about to quickly start moving in some areas. Events that seem to have been on hold suddenly propel forward. Move with the flow and be mindful of what needs your attention most. That is the message that I am getting, you guys. We are doing the work, y'all. We are doing the work. We're getting it in, collective family. I just want to share that message with y'all. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below.